Hey everybody, happy Thursday. And for those of you who are new, Thursdays means I'm on Twitter. And if you haven't found me on Twitter, it's at Kati Morton, Kati. No E, just I. And you can find it and you can ask me questions using the hashtag KatiFAQ. And many of you have already been on and you asked your questions, and so I have vetted them and I've answered some already. So if you were wondering if your question got answered, pop on Twitter and see if I got to it. So I have 3 questions today as well as a journal topic, and I will get started. Hey Kati, I am a hugger, and I like for people to show me affection, but I rarely get any of it, and it hurts. Any advice? Hashtag I need a hug. Don't we all need a hug? Well, the reason that I brought this one up is because I know for many of us, we crave affection in different ways. Some people show affection through time spent together. Some people show affection through gifts. Some people show it through, saying nice things, or there are any number of things. They actually say there's 5 love languages. If any of you are wondering what the heck I'm talking about, you can Google 5 love languages. And I think I'll do the best of my memory. It's shared activities, physical touch, words of affection, acts of service, like doing something for someone. I forget what the other one is. But anyway, you can look it up. It's actually something that they've done for romantic relationships, but I believe it permeates all of our relationships because each of us speak different love languages. And I am also a hugger. My family was really affectionate that way, rubbing your back, hugs, kiss on the cheek, stuff like that. My family's really affectionate physically. And so I find the way that and I'm just giving my experience on this, the way that I get those needs met is by, first of all, a lot of my friends are that way too, although some of them aren't. Rocio, my friend that was on one of my videos, she does not like hugs, but I force her into it sometimes anyways, because I like them. And that's what I do. I hug people. I come up to people when I see them. I'm like, oh, it's so good to see you. And I engage and start the hug process, because once you're coming at somebody like they can't, people are gonna hug you, and it's an easy way for you to get that. Also, having friends that you can talk to about it. If this is something that you're craving and you're not getting, it's okay to tell a friend, I could really use a hug right now, and have them hug you. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not creepy. It's not weird. We all crave different things and different ways of getting our needs met and feeling loved and getting that affection. And so I would, always engage in hugs when you meet up with people, as long as it's appropriate. I mean, I don't hug people at work all the time. I'm not like, hey, because that could be a little overwhelming for some people. But in my personal life, that's where I would engage it. I would, hug people when you see them, hug them when you leave, tell your friends you need hugs. They'll understand, I think some of us are really physical and some of us aren't, but it's okay. No one's opposed to hugging as long as you've talked to them about it. There's nothing like that would make it difficult for them. For any of you, if you have any advice and tips and tricks about this, let us know below. How do you get your love language met? Okay. Question number 2. Kati, I think I may have BPD. BPD meaning borderline personality disorder. And I have a video on that if you want to see it. I mentioned my concerns to my therapist, but she says it doesn't really matter unless there's something we need to change treatment-wise, or if she felt I needed a higher level of care. I definitely trust her, but I was just wondering what your opinion was. Is this something that should be explored more thoroughly, or is it all 2 sides of the same coin as long as we're working on my issues? I have to politely disagree with your therapist. I believe borderline personality disorder has its own treatment plan, treatment regimen. DBT obviously being the most effective. We know that, from research and statistically speaking. I do agree on the one side that as long as we're working on our issues, we're still going to work on our issues, right? And work through it. But I would have to disagree. I think finding a therapist that wants to talk about your diagnosis with you and have it be a process and have you be part of the treatment plan would be a much better experience. I mean, obviously everyone's different, but if you feel like you click with this therapist, it is working, you do feel like you're working on your issues, then I would just trust. I'd be fine with it. But I would have the discussion around, if it's important to you, which it obviously is because you asked this question, I would have a question around, it's important for me to know what I'm up against or what my diagnosis is, or however you want to verbalize it. It's a nice way to express that you'd really like to know. And I would even tell her, I've heard DBT is really great for borderline personality disorder. Is that something that I should look into? Because there are workbooks that I recommend in my other videos on my video about borderline that can be really helpful. And finding a DBT group can be even more helpful on top of your individual therapy. So I think it's important because there are a lot of other steps we can take once we know. So I would express that, but if you also like her, I'd go along with her treatment plan, but just maybe let her know you might want to integrate other tools into your treatment so you're getting the best possible outcome. I think that's fair, don't you? Okay, question number 3. Can I report my parents for not letting me get the help I need? I really need to go to therapy and I want to go. My youth pastor, school counselor, and school vice principal have called her and told her how much I need it. What can I do? I wish my mom would just let me. Now, this I thought was interesting because I've heard from many of you that you've struggled to either tell your parents or once you've told them they don't do anything about it. Now, as far as the laws in California, as far as I'm aware, now I did some research and I went through my law and ethics book. You can't report them. Although, if you're under 18, you technically could report it for child abuse under the neglect portion of it. So you could report them to CPS, Child Protective Services, whatever it is in your state. You can report them for neglect. That's the one thing I think you can do. Also, depending on how financially it works, if you have insurance and you would just be able to pay the copay and that wouldn't be a problem, you wouldn't have to ask your parents, and you can get yourself there or whatever, you can seek treatment after the age of 12. Once you're 12 and over, you can go to a therapist without parental consent. Now, from a therapist standpoint, we're looking for a few things. We're looking that you're like, not old enough, but kind of like cognitively aware enough to be able to participate fully in therapy. Also, there has to be a reason that your parents aren't included, like they don't believe in therapy or they don't want to get you help or whatever. And then the third is that you're able to pay for the therapy, whatever it is. You're able yourself to figure out a way where you can financially afford it. So those are the options. You can report them for neglect, yes, and you also can seek therapy on your own. It depends on if you want to open up a CPS case, because what that can mean for a lot of people is that we are put into foster care potentially if they're found guilty. We have to go to court sometimes. It can be kind of icky, but I don't know how hard or bad your situation is. If you're really fearful for your safety and you feel like you're getting worse, and then maybe that's a step we need to take. But on the flip side, we may be able to get treatment without our parents anyway. So I hope that helps. Now, journal topic today is a quote that I got on Twitter, and some of you send these to me, and part of me is like, I should say their names and be like, thanks so-and-so, but I'm always afraid because I never know if people are okay with that. So if you're cool with it, maybe just give me a little note, be like, you can say my name, or say name thumbs up, or whatever emoticons you got, okay? So this one says, expose yourself to your deepest fear. After that, fear has no power. And I have to agree, I get real scared over certain situations and doing certain things. And then once you do them, like let's say you're forced into public speaking, you're like, I can't, but then you do it and then you're fine. And you're like, wow, that wasn't that bad after all. So what have you done that you were scared of lately? And how did it feel? How did it turn out? And if you haven't, I would challenge you to write down some things that you maybe been a little scared and timid to try or do, and you think it'd be beneficial for you to do them. And then let's try a couple and let me know how it goes. Okay, tomorrow is Finally Friday, so get on Facebook, ask your questions, and I'll see you then. Bye!